Hi guys, I am Rain, and this is Authentically Autistic. I have had an immensely difficult day today. I had a meltdown today. So my battery percentage is flittering somewhere around 1%, maybe 2%. It's not great. It's not great. So if you've seen my last few videos, you might be able to see, kind of the lead up to this meltdown. Unlike some of my meltdowns, this meltdown I kind of saw coming to some extent. Like I knew a meltdown was coming. I just didn't know when. I didn't know what was going to be that final straw. I have had a difficult few weeks in general. It's been rough between court stuff, paperwork, job stuff, financial things, not having two of our kiddos, really just so many things. I have just felt like I was drowning, and I've been trying, these roads are really rough, and I've been trying to stay strong, and I've been trying really hard to not have a meltdown. And not to say that like you're not strong if you have a meltdown. That's not what I think. I was just, I had that in me where I was just like, no, let's stay strong, we can do this, and then I also had a part of me that was like, come on, don't melt down, today's not the day, like we don't have time for that today, and I was just out there trying my best. But today that happened. I felt like Tiberius was being kind of difficult this morning, throughout the day, and I was having a hard time figuring out how to communicate, as I often do when I'm just having difficulty in general. That's one of the first things to go for me, is my ability to communicate adequately. And I ended up, because of my difficulty communicating, feeling like Ty wasn't being there for me in the way I wanted them to be, and I got my feelings all hurt. And then I tried to, in the beginning of my episode, I tried to blame Ty for my lack of communication, which is always great. You should definitely do that when you're struggling. Blame your partner for the things. It'll fix it every time, I swear. No, it's a joke. Do not do that. But no, I was having a really rough time the past few weeks, and with the tire blowing, like I told you guys about, and everything else, it's just been building, and then today was just that final straw. And I had a full meltdown, the whole works, couldn't communicate, couldn't remember what I was saying, couldn't breathe for parts of it. I get a lot of suicidal ideation, and self-harm tendencies during my meltdowns. It's sometimes so psychologically exhausting that I will have seizures around my meltdowns. So it's a lot of things, and it's very difficult for me. And I just feel like I'm at 1% now, like I'm having such a hard time. I feel like maybe at 1% that's like on the charger, because Ty and I did talk throughout my meltdown, and then, after it was over and stuff, Ty is particularly good about that, being there for me during meltdowns and helping me come out of them, and being kind to me afterwards. So Ty's also autistic, so if we're both having a meltdown, that gets a little rough. But today it was mostly just me, and Ty was super helpful. So I feel like a 1% that's on the charger. That's how we'll wrap that up. My foods for the day. This is just not staying up. There's too many bumps in the road. I ate just burritos today, I think, which makes sense. That's one of my main go-to foods anyways, and especially if I'm having a difficult time, that's the easiest, most accessible food for me. So that was my food for the day. My tip for the day, I really want to do maybe a full episode on here about meltdowns, about what they look like and what you can do and preventative measures, etc., because it's really important. And I feel like most autistic people, obviously not all, but most autistic people are prone to meltdowns, and they're going to happen. It's an inevitability for most autistic people. And so the best thing that you can do, I think, with that information is to prepare for that eventuality. And so by prepare, I mean figure out what your preventative measures are. For me, it looks like, if I catch it early enough, it looks like breathing. I do a lot of 4, 6, 8 breathing, where I breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 6 seconds, breathe out for 8 seconds. I can go on a walk, and that's often helpful. I can sometimes just isolate and maybe play some chess or watch a show or a movie that I find very comforting. And those can be some of my preventative measures. Now, if I don't catch it early enough, I also have an action plan for my meltdowns, and I have a safety bag, and that safety bag has snacks that I like and beverages that I like, and letters from the kids and drawings from the kids and letters from Ty, and I have my stuffed animals in that sort of I don't know why this is not staying put today, let's see, letters from the kids. I have my stuffed animals very near my safe space, which is actually just a little pet bed next to our bed, because it's a nice closed-in area, and as silly as it might sound, it's a large pet bed, for a giant dog. But as silly as it might sound, it helps me to sit on that and to have a stuffed animal and to have the things that I like, and to try and comfort myself in really any way I can. So yeah, that's my tip for the day, and maybe we'll get into that more in a different video. I know Tiberius and I have been planning for a minute on doing a Healthy Mentals episode, which is the podcast that we do. We've been planning for a minute to do a Healthy Mentals episode on episodes and meltdowns, and we'll have a lot of that information in there, as well as potentially an excerpt from my book where I very graphically detail me during a meltdown. I wrote it directly after a meltdown, coming out of a meltdown one day. So it's a very graphic, very realistic portrayal of where I'm at during a meltdown and what that looks like. So we'll definitely be getting into some of that in the future. If not here, then on Healthy Mentals, and I'll link it at some point when we get that done. Let's see. That's my tip of the day. My autism thing of the day, obviously I tend to like to connect the things. And so my autism thing of the day is going to be meltdowns. Meltdowns are a thing that can happen to, really any neurodivergent person, and unlike a temper tantrum, there's not like a thing that you can do to solve it. It's not like the person's having a meltdown and if you give them what they want, they will suddenly feel better and everything will be okay and they'll stop, throwing a fit or whatever. That's not true for children, that's not true for adults. They're very different than temper tantrums in that way. A meltdown typically, for a lot of autistic people, myself included, happens after a series of things usually either go wrong or plans change or something, and then there's like a final straw, and often people will look at the final straw and they'll be like, well, why would you melt down over, Tiberius saying like, no, I don't want to talk right now, like why would you just lose it over that, but that's never the only thing. Like I said, this one for me has been building for weeks, it feels like. And for some people, it's just over the course of a day. Maybe they woke up and the cereal that they wanted was out, and so then they went to the store and the store didn't have it either, or the store was closed, and then they were supposed to meet up with their friends and their friends canceled, and these series of things just built up, and then they drop something on their toe and it hurts, and then they have a full meltdown, and it looks like, well, they just dropped a thing on their foot. That seems like a weird thing to, have so many emotions about, but it's never just that thing. Not for me, and not from what I've heard from most other autistic people either. So, yeah. What else? Is there anything else? No, I think that's it. Autism thing of the day, and we're done. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon.